Dustin Meeks, and I'm with the law firm of Barnes and Thornburg. I'm standing in today for my colleague, Brad Bingham, who is the incorporator of the Westfield Park Street Building Corporation. And so in my role as incorporator, I'm going to convene this special meeting of the Board of Directors of the Building Corporation. The first item of business for the Building Corporation will be approving its incorporation documents and a set of bylaws for the corporation and the election of officers of the corporation. In your meeting packet, you will have received a resolution of the initial meeting of the Board of Directors of the Westfield Park Street Building Corporation, which walks through each of those elements. The last item to finalize that resolution, which we would consider for adoption after we finalize it, is identifying who the officers are going to be. To identify the officers, we'll conduct a brief officers election. So what I will do is I will identify the officer role that we're going to elect, ask for a nomination from the board. A board member will nominate somebody else to hold the honor of the various roles. I'll accept a second to any nominations, and then we'll conduct a brief election for each of those officers. Once they're elected, we'll fill out sort of a final version of the resolution for you to get signed. But we have to do the election before we can consider our resolution. So first, I would consider a nomination for the role of president of the Building Corporation. Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped right over the week. Yeah, so we can start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I apologize. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Apologies. So now I would entertain a motion, or I'm sorry, a nomination for president of the Building Corporation.
I nominate Heather.
So I have a nomination of Heather Cox. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
And that is seconded by Patrick. Okay, so at this point, all in favor of Heather to serve as president of the Building Corporation?
Aye.
And so that is a unanimous vote. So Heather, you will now be president. At this time, I would entertain a nomination for vice president of the Building Corporation.
I nominate Teresa Darling.
So we have a nomination for Teresa, and do we have a second on that nomination?
I second that.
We have a second from Patrick, and at this time, I would hear all in favor of Teresa to serve as vice president of the Building Corporation. Please say aye.
Aye.
So that's also unanimous. And then lastly, I would entertain a motion or a nomination for the position of Secretary Treasurer of the Building Corporation.
I nominate Patrick Downey.
So a nomination from Heather. Is there a second on that nomination? Teresa has seconded the nomination. And at this point, all of those in favor of Patrick serving as Secretary Treasurer, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous there. So we have identified our officers of the corporation. So that is good. That brings us to our action item 1. So now that the officers have been identified, and those will be included in your resolution, you can see there's a spot to put those in, and we'll get them in there for you, but for the one that gets signed into the record. What this resolution does additionally to ratifying your election of officers is it approves the articles of incorporation, which were filed on the corporation's behalf by my colleague Brad Bingham, and then additionally approves a code of bylaws for the corporation, which were also included in your meeting packet. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about the articles and bylaws.
I have none.
All right. Being that there are no questions from the board, at this point we would entertain a motion to approve this resolution, and then after that I will hand it over to Heather to run the rest of the meeting.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, the motion and a second, in which case all members of the board who are in favor of adopting the resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So unanimously approved. At this point, you are official with articles and bylaws and officers, and so I will turn it over to President to lead consideration of our action item number 2, and I will switch hats into my role as a helpful legal explainer for action item 2. So,
And Dustin, I think before we have Heather ask for a motion for this next item, for the record, I'm Janelle Fairman, Director of Economic Development for the City of Westfield. Action item number 2 is a resolution approving a form of a lease agreement and loan agreement for the Park and Poplar project. This is specifically related to the parking garage that will be built at the mixed-use development that is being developed by Old Town companies. We, as a city, have been working in partnership with Old Town to finalize the terms of a public-private agreement. The parking garage itself will be operated by Old Town companies as if it was an owner of the garage. They'll take on all responsibilities for running, operating costs, everything associated with, and including the building of that garage, but it will remain in the ownership of the building corporation during that period of time which the payments are being made. And so this agreement, and Dustin can certainly provide some more context on the legalities of why this is required, but this will basically allow that this lease is being entered into with Old Town in order for them to take on that role and responsibility for a project that is being funded through public dollars. This project is different than some other projects that we're doing in the city that would not have a lease. A good example of that is the Grand project, which is being developed just 2 blocks to the north. That project is being funded through a developer-backed bond, not a city-backed bond, so it will not have the same structure. This one is unique because it is city financing for a project that will be run by the private developer.
Yeah, and so the your purpose, the building corporation's purpose at the center of the transaction, which is what Janelle is driving at, is that you will actually be the vehicle through which revenues from the city's financing get to the project to be constructed. And for you to serve in that role, we have to have you engaged in 2 agreements. So one is a lease with the Redevelopment Commission of the city. And the redevelopment commission will be co-leasing the garage from you as owner with the developer. And so the developer will operate it, but the redevelopment commission will be co-lessee. And through that lease, the redevelopment commission will bring the city's financing dollars to you. And then you additionally will be entering into a loan agreement with the city of Westfield, where the city is going to issue bonds, and they're going to give you the proceeds of the bonds, and you're going to take your lease dollars and pay back that loan to the city, and the city is going to use your loan dollars and pay off its bonds. And so you sit at the center, and because of your 2 agreements, the city is able to bring its financing into this otherwise privately developed project. And so that's why you're kind of the linchpin, and that's why these 2 agreements need to be approved. The process that will follow this is that the Redevelopment Commission will make their approval of the lease, and they have a little longer process for approving a lease than you do. And then City Council will approve the issuance of bonds in collaboration with the city's Economic Development Commission, and they will also approve their loan agreement with you. So the next handful of meetings that are on the timetable that I circulated are those approvals of the other sides of the agreement by the other bodies that are going to be engaged in these 2 agreements with you. And happy to answer any questions that you might have as well about the resolution or the agreements.
Does anyone have any questions? No. I do not. I read through them, so everything looks good. So do we do a motion to approve? Okay.
Yes, you can.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I approve.
There you go. So we have a motion and a second.
Do we have a second?
Yep.
I have a second.
Okay, a motion is approved.
We're going to vote. Yeah, so it's just
Oh.
all in favor.
Yeah, all in favor. Apologize.
Aye.
It's been a while since I've done the Robert's
No
rules.
worries, no worries. It's
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That is action item
It is
number 2
approved.
approved. At this point, there's no other business for the corporation, so if you'd like, we can entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting of the Building Corporation Board of Directors.
Okay, I assume there's no other questions? Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second it.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, we are adjourned.
Thank you very much.